The All Smiling Faces podcast is now sponsored by Tyre Spot, the Northeast's leading tyre supplier with branches across the region. Tyre Spot don't just do tyres, they cover everything from servicing to wheel alignment. They can handle every aspect of your car's maintenance. For more information, visit tyrespot.co.uk. Enjoy the episode. Hi, everybody. Welcome back to the Always Smiling Faces podcast on the GallowgateShots YouTube channel. It is myself, your host tonight, Chris, joined by Bestie. And Decker's back as well. Decker? Oh, cheers, mate.
No, I mean, I'm happy to be here, but of course, you know, I'd rather still be over there. Daz, hope you're watching, mate. Love you to bits. Fantastic host it was. It was the...
Tell everybody where you went.
How long you got? No, I'll not bore you, but yes, I went to America, obviously. I went to see my good friend Daz. He'd be watching, hopefully. He put up in Atlanta, he lives in. So I started off in New York. I went New York Friday, Saturday. We then traveled to Philadelphia, watched the Newcastle West Ham game in Philadelphia, ran up and down the Rocky Steps like an idiot. Then we moved to Washington, D.C. in the same day. Just a couple of days in there, then moved to Atlanta for a couple of days, went to Nashville, Tennessee for a couple of days, back to New York for a couple of days, and then came home. And I'm really sad about it.
I've got a question.
Go on then.
So do you know the Rocky Steps?
Yes, I do.
Is it like, like I know obviously just a public space and the steps are quite wide or huge.
Massive,
Is there a queue? Like if people like just waiting to do that moment and get recorded?
So yes and no. So there was loads of people there still.
Yeah.
But the statue isn't on the steps.
They moved that, yeah.
So there was a queue to get your picture taken with that. And they actually had I wouldn't call them security necessarily. Well, maybe you could. They took the phone off you to take a photo, and then must just stand there all day and just like next and just take a photo. They didn't charge you anything for it. They just took a photo of you and then give you your phone back. But there was a queue there, and also there was a shop had opened. There was like a little pop-up shop where you could go in and buy like the
what did you buy?
I didn't buy anything. Actually,
wow.
No. Dane did. Dane bought a t-shirt, and you could buy like the American shorts. I don't know if you've watched it. Apollo wears
like Stars and Stripes shorts.
Literally you could buy Rocky Trilby, but not the one, but replicated off
Apollo Creed's hat.
Couldn't get that one.
Really?
No. Well, I didn't say it anyway. But it was amazing. And then I've just been telling Bestie who went and did the Jack Daniels tour, distillery, which was amazing. Nashville was by far the best place, though. Without any doubt.
I'm not sure if you listened to last week's recording.
I didn't watch all of it. I watched
some of it. The end then.
Definitely didn't. What happened at the end?
Well, I'm quite shocked. I'm not sure if you are shocked, Bestie.
First thing I noticed.
He's not wearing any American merch.
Well,
that's what you wore this.
That's the one I've wore
this before, though.
No, I didn't when I was at work today. If I hadn't have been at work, I probably would have had something on. Like
I was expecting a Yankees jersey or a.
God bless him.
I was expecting him to wheel in with a suitcase of all his merch.
Portland or something.
People get an extra suitcase on holiday.
Can I tell you what I did buy though? Right, which he's going to absolutely laugh at, right? But I'm quite happy to admit it. So I bought a Yankees pen, right? But inside the Yankees pen has used game dirt from a Derek Jeter game. One, I think it's his final game, and where he stands to hit the ball, part of the dirt's like scooped up in the pen, and that's the pen, which I think is really cool. It costs a lot of money as well, but anyway.
They do. I saw a thing. They use a different ball for every pitch, don't they? As I understand it.
Yes, that's correct. Yeah.
And I saw one. It was just a ball that had been used in the regular season. Might not have even been the Yankees. It might be. And it was like $50 something for this ball that's been thrown and hit once.
Yeah.
In like a season game, not in the Super Bowl, not in the what's called World Series or like that. Series, just in a league match.
Yeah.
So it's like
I've got a couple of sign balls.
It's like when it's like selling the football Anthony Gordon hit a crossbar with.
I see what you're saying.
Follows when it's just bizarre. It's like it's so
bizarre,
how the monetize. We should start doing that. It's in James actually. If you're watching me, Dad and Amanda,
do what?
Just start selling like bits of the pitch off, and just for the
Didn't they used to do that? I'm sure.
FFP and that.
I'm sure they bought. So sorry, I'm sure the souls. Was it the penalty spot? The soul when she was.
It's happened before where the relay in a pitch, and I'm sure they've sold
parts of it. Yeah.
Yeah. I forget exactly. It might be something to do with that.
I think it was,
yeah, I get it with the dirt because the dirt will last, won't it? If you get a bit of grass, that's going to die, isn't it?
The dirt's a good thing because you can put it in, like your sourdough. You
can put it in the pen.
You know, have you had those things at work where someone gets a sourdough and they bring the pot in and then you take a bit of the dough and then you can do that with the dirt theoretically.
Yeah.
You could put it in your garden, grow off it, and then cut it like and then move it on. So everyone's got all of your Yankee supporting pals can have a little bit of
mood. And we also went across the road where the old Bronx Stadium was, and now it's like a play area for kids and that, but they've still got the original pitch there, which is quite cool. I mean, it had been raining, so it was quite wet, but that was quite cool. Actually, I didn't realize it was just as close as that, but yeah, it was pretty good.
They could have possibly do it with a Gallowgate puddle. Put them into the puddle in a jar for everybody.
Yeah, a bit of the pigeon.
A bit of feather off a pigeon.
Aye.
I actually told him about the pigeon. Did you notice what was happening on a couple of seats to the left of me at the weekend?
Oh no.
So all of a sudden, this bucket appeared on the stairs, and I see that's a random place to book a bucket, and there was a shitloads of bird shit, which had obviously the birds must be nesting in the top of the Gallowgate again.
Oh, right.
Honestly, there was about 7 seats just covered in shit, and
Oh,
they had to
God.
get obviously the cleaners in. And this was just as the match was kicking off. Everybody just sort of as the cleaners are going around,
Proper
mopping the seats down.
environmental health job, that like.
It is, aye, but. Pigeon still eats. Family's there now.
Yeah, that's him. His descendants.
He's descendants.
Aye.
Taking over.
Even more seagulls are turning up to watch now, man. We're that good. We're getting more birds coming in.
Pissing off from Shields and heading to the town centre.
It's minute up here.
But yes, Bestie. Actually, I think I haven't even said the words.
Oh, I well, won you now. It
feels like wrong saying it that late into the show.
It kind of does, but
it does.
It still works though.
But Bestie, we were both there at the weekend, and talking about the performance itself, I know it was a 4-0 win, but it didn't feel like a 4-0 win. If you know what I mean. If you put in the atmosphere at St. James's Park in, and we didn't even get out of second gear. Really did. We're like
just we found their kind of weak spot. We've got the ball in behind their left back because their left back. I was in the head of steam after the game for a quick pint, and some Palace fans came in, just three lads that had been on for the game. So we're talking to them, and they were saying that I was saying, "Oh, your left back." He says, "Oh yeah, he was just getting whoever was in front of him kept on disappearing." So he's having to come forward trying, and every time, like the Murphy goal came from that. The cross for Longstaff's goal was in that gap. Longstaff loves that gap, by the way.
He found out 5-6
times. Loads of times he's in there constantly. But yeah, like the gap between the left back and the left side of centre half was just constantly. In the first half in particular, got down there loads. Caused loads of bother. I think the Wilson header that went wide when Gordon hit the crossbar. I know Murphy's ball for Gordon's goal was a little bit deeper than that, but still, we got down there loads. Trippier was down there all the time. And I don't think it felt like, I think Palace aren't a bad side. They hadn't really conceded a great many goals prior to 3 clean sheets in a row, I think. And I thought away from that, they looked all right. They didn't cause a great deal of trouble. I mean, by 3-0 half time, the game's gone, isn't it, really? But Pope made one save immediately before the Wilson goal. Other than that, a few shots over the top.
Free kick.
He made an unbelievable
save. That was a great save right at the end. Right at the end of that free kick.
What a save, yeah.
Yeah, it was a superb save.
So I'm massively different to yourselves.
Oh, yeah.
Because I honestly thought that first half is the best I've ever seen us play. I thought we were
brilliant. Like
that was complete performance that first half.
I think it's different in thinking it. Do you know what it is? I think we looked good because it was effortless. Like Palace didn't even turn up; they didn't, and I think that helped massively. When I think you look at the likes of, I don't know if you just look a couple of weeks back at the PSG game. Overall, that team performance was unbelievable, and I wouldn't say any player had an unbelievable game against Crystal Palace. It looked like a training session where we're playing kids.
I think the first hour you could say Jacob Murphy was maybe not unbelievable, but he was superb.
Yeah, great. Yeah,
really good.
Like when he
end product as well now.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, the goal was a bit fortunate, like, but the end product he's got now, I got class Shea. I hadn't realised how good Shea was until I watched a video of him earlier. I think the club might have put it on, just him spraying the ball about. Yeah. It's 2 or 3 minute long video of him stepping into midfield and just putting it on people's toe ends.
I've always been. I'll say what I'm going to say, then I'll come back to something because someone will go, "Oh, you didn't see that before." I've always loved Shea because of that. You know, comes out from the back, very, very calm on the ball, always willing to start a move. You can score the odd raker, of course, as we've seen. There was only the odd moment in the Bruce era where I thought, and it wasn't really just him, but you know, when he made like some really rash decisions, Man City in the cup, I remember like just stupid, like you know, man. But for £3 million we paid for him, give or take, pound for pound, you know, I don't think there's many better than that, pound for pound. When you think of just how good he is, and for all we heard that he couldn't play in a back four and blah 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 blah. Like, and look at that, man. You've lost Botman, right? And everyone, and I was worried because you don't want to lose Botman. And then Lascelles has come in alongside Shea, which is pretty, you know, it's the same centre half pairing that we had under Bruce. If you just walloped PSG, you've just walloped them on Saturday. Like, honestly, and to go back to the performance on Saturday, I know you're saying that Palace didn't turn up, whatever. I don't think we give them an opportunity to even try and turn up. Like, we are just relentless on and off the ball. Like, and I've said it for a while now. Like, in our building, like, honestly, we could beat anybody there. Like, we're just so good.
We've said that for a good chunk of time now, haven't we? That anybody come to St. James's Park, and especially getting an early goal in that manner, was the 4th minute. That's a game plan out the window straight away. So Palace wanted to come and sit back. That's gone in the first one of the first kicks of the game.
They did, but at 3-0. They did when it was like, well, let's not concede. I was talking to the lad, I don't know his name, stands to my left. The game, it sounded pretty nice, lad. And I was saying, like, at half time, this could be Sheffield United again. And they weren't terrible. We were just getting at them and was causing problems every time we attacked, it felt like. And then they did tighten up in the second half. And
we've definitely got that intensity back, which it seemed that we didn't have at the very start of the season. I know it was quite a hard start that we had. But those first, after we got those handful of games out of the way, it's back, isn't it?
Totally.
And now it just seems like a competition to see how many goals we can score this season.
It's unbelievable, and you know, you shake it up a little bit by changing Isak for Wilson, and you're changing Miggy for Murphy. Everyone is coming in and being able to do exactly the same job, perhaps better than the other person. Like, it's just, I swear to you, right? I honestly don't think. I think it really, hopefully, will get better and win things and stuff. But I mean, in terms of how we are playing, right, and what we're seeing at the minute, if you add Sheffield United into that, add PSG into that, you really need to accept this could be the best you'll ever see, man. This is as good as it's ever been for me. This is better than anything I've seen us play. Like, we're that good. It's absolutely amazing.
I forget who I was talking to about this on Saturday now at the game, but they were saying it's a bit of a shame because this team will probably be forgotten about before in like 10 years' time if things go the way they appear to be going and we end up winning this, that, and the other. Like, the team that included Jacob Murphy, Fabian Schär mentioned there, Sean Longstaff, you're like, God, remember them? How on earth were? I briefly listened to the Guardian's kind of podcast this morning, not Guardian, Athletic, James Richardson one, and they were saying, like, and it's kind of the same message people are saying, like, this Newcastle squad, it's got players that were in the Championship, got players that were there under Benitez, under Steve Bruce. It's not just that, and they have spent money, it's not just that they spent like millions and millions of pounds on, like, superstars. He's getting the best out of so many players, Howe, right? And it's down to Eddie Howe. A lot of it, a huge amount of it is obviously like with Trippier. I mean, Trippier was only £12 million, but he doesn't come without a takeover. You know what I mean? Without what we've got there now, but he's made a massive difference. I probably would have gone down, but like what he's getting out of Sean Longstaff, I'll say Longstaff has said himself he wasn't getting coached properly previously. He'd had like a few lost years. Jacob Murphy was insane. He was the first name out the door for a lot of people after the takeover. Murphy was like, I will get rid of him. He's replaced.
Well, Christ, I mean, I think I had a good word to say about him back in the sort of Rafa days when we signed him. There's not a player in there. He's not this. He's not. Now, I don't care if anyone was a fan of him back then. No one could have expected.
No
what
chance.
we're seeing
And
here.
I liked him. I liked him, but just for his endeavour more than anything else. But he's muscular. He's end product. I mean, that was. I'd say the first goal was a bit fortunate on Saturday there, but that ball for we'll come to the goals obviously. That ball for Wilson, that was like Willock against Spurs last season.
The ball for Gordon for that one, it was absolutely tremendous.
Yeah,
it's undefendable. That the keeper can't come for it. You defender kind of clear it. It just.
They're queuing up the back post. Shay's got to try and get his head in at Wilson. Gordon's there. Then no.
I will jump ahead 1 second. Shay starts that right from the back again. Brings it out. And, you know, like, that's such a sign of confidence as well, though. He brings the ball out and then plays it. He could have just went, I'll shuffle back now. Right. But he keeps on going, which then means, oh, shit, we need to deal with Shea. Then leaves Gordon wide open. Like, it's just, honest to God, it's just amazing.
Howe said recently about Shea, if he was at the start of his career, he'd be worth an absolute fortune.
Yeah. I mentioned it on the match reaction that me and Harry done live, is that Fabian Schär in world football, he's probably one of the most underrated players.
Absolutely, like
he is 100%.
Certainly over this last 24 months, whatever it's been, 20 months.
Yeah, absolutely.
But let's quickly go through the goals. If anybody does have any questions, send them in. We'll mark them and we'll come back at the end of the podcast to go through them. And there's already a couple of questions about your holiday as well, Dave.
Oh yeah,
there's a couple of questions.
Fire away.
Have you got your stats prepared?
I've got the game on, but I can get them.
All right, so you're prepared. Done your homework.
Shy.
Can I just check?
Of course you can.
Like when you went on Twitter. Were you tagged in lots of things?
Oh, loads. Honestly, loads. Minnesota Mag. Do you ever have your phone out your hand? It was like every couple of minutes. This one I'm at. This one I'm at. I mean, I will be fair, yeah, right. I don't have many notifications turned on my phone because I would find I would never put my phone down. So like even the group we're in, I have it muted because I just couldn't keep up with it. And Twitter's another one. But when I went on though, honestly, I probably had about 30 or 40, I'd say, maybe, like stats and stuff. And Minnesota Mag was about 70% of them. Like, but no, it was a good crack, yeah. Good crack.
So yeah, let's go through the goals. Bestie, starting with the first cross shot clearance, whatever it may be, by Jacob Murphy, but it doesn't really matter. It found its way in the back of the net.
Yeah,
it took itself behind the post.
Lovely ball by Shea again to Trippier, who I thought he was miles on side, and then watching the it got flagged off, and then I haven't seen it since. I was closer than I thought. But at the time, I thought, like, there's no conversation to be had there. It was a lovely, just perfect, again, ball by Shea and Trippier. It's the third time in a few weeks now he's just done that. He's played that inside the boot. First time, no touch, doesn't need to let it bounce, doesn't need to just, there you are, perfectly weighted. And Murphy, I mean, he's trying to get it at Wilson, and he's trying to lift it over Callum Wilson at the back post, but he's overstretched a little bit, and it's kind of gone in, but it was lush, just really, really, just that early, like Decker said earlier. A team's, or you might have said it, Chris, a team's got to totally change their game plan when it's go early, because teams do sit back and make it difficult. And I always think if we can get a goal early on against most teams, then we'll go on and we'll get a few.
And conceding a goal like that's quite deflating as well, isn't it?
All right, it is. I do want to reference the Trippier little pass, that cushion passing. Hey, I've watched that a few times. That is a hell of a good pass. And that looks simple, really, but it isn't. Like the weight of it, the cushion of it is superb. And that right-hand side, man, my God, it was just terrorizing them, like, for the full game. But again, Murphy's in a good area. And yes, we know he's trying to help it on, but it's still such a lovely move, you know what I mean? Sometimes you create your own look, you know what I mean? Him being in that area. And, I agree. I actually thought it was Murphy they were checking, but it wasn't until later on I realized, it was actually Murphy that was,
Trips.
Sorry, Trips was the problem, and it was a lot closer than I expected.
I thought that as well.
He was on, but
something else I read, I think after the game, remember when it was always Trippier, Bruno, and Miggy on the right?
Yeah.
Trippier, Longstaff, and Murphy doing exactly the same thing.
Yeah.
Now working really, really well.
Oh, no, 100%.
Longstaff was brilliant.
He was unreal. He was unreal. And I'm sure I did reference this a few weeks ago, where that burst he does, and that you're seeing it more and more, 4, 5, 6 times in the first half. He makes this run off the ball, and they just don't track him. Like, they just don't track him.
At least one chance a game in that exact same position. He scored against PSG. Very similar goal. Southampton. He scores
the same goal
on the weekend. The same. Like,
keep scoring it, man.
That's a Longstaff goal now, isn't it?
Oh, I totally.
Trademark goal for Longy, isn't it?
He's leveled. I think he's equaled his best ever scoring season for now.
2,
3.
Has he scored 3
2 in the league? I think it is.
2 in the league. It is. Yeah.
He'll get more. You've got every. He's gonna get more, like, because he's just absolutely amazing at the minute. Longstaff, like, to be fair.
It's like a FIFA goal, isn't it? Like, maybe it's less so the new FIFA's. Well, he is FC. But on old FIFA, when you knew you got into the box at a certain angle, and all you had to do was hit the shoot button down and take that. Longstaff's got a cheat code.
Second goal is Anthony Gordon's goal. It's another great team goal as well. And Gordon obviously gets his chance just before that, where he hits a crossbar. Obviously he sees it late, and he can't do anything else apart from hit at it.
He should score. Like,
I think he should do a little bit better, but it's harsh. It's harsh to. He's been playing that well. It feels kind of churlish to criticize him for it.
But he made up for it. He made up for it, and he got his goal. And do you know what it is? Do you know how people always want to see Miggy score? Do you feel like it's shifted to Gordon now?
I've really hated him at Everton, and I can't stress enough how much I disliked him when he played. I love him.
He's class, man.
I find him handsome and all sorts. Like, it's
handsome.
I love him. Like, I
haven't crossed that.
I've got the black and white glasses on, like, but he's just a winning smile. And see his little high five thing with Murphy, and he scored and all that.
He's always grabbing the badge and pointing at the badge, isn't he?
He's into that
as well. He's like that.
Yeah, I was listening. It was Gary Lineker. I was listening to the Lineker podcast with Shearer and Micah Richards the other week. And they're talking about that, the badge kissing badge, because I've always been a bit like, I'm not sure about that. But Lineker says when you're playing for a club, and if you get involved, like, if you you do feel like that, you feel like I genuinely do love what I'm doing here, who I'm doing it with.
It's showing about your appreciation, really, isn't it?
Yeah.
So and he must be loving it at the minute, because I always say he's getting chased down the street at Everton, and then to come from that environment to this. I mean, it must be unbelievable for him. Like,
he's gone from an absolute shitstorm to living the dream and loving his football.
Absolutely.
And I remember when Bruno signed, I was on about like how he must be on the phone back to his mates. I think I referenced Paquette at the time.
Mhm.
To see Christ, is brilliant. This at full time when Tonali did it was a few yards ahead of everyone else going on the pitch.
Yeah.
Gordon must be referring back to the Everton thing, getting chased down the street in his car. Gordon must be thinking, I've made the right decision here. Like, God, this is amazing.
Yeah. And to go back to the second goal, I mean, again, came down from the right hand side, and that was the one when Trippier just absolutely puts the burners on to get beyond Murphy, you know, which again is amazing to see.
Yeah, he does.
And then the fullback has to keep an eye on Trippier, which then gives Murphy that. Now,
gets a chance to look up, doesn't he?
Yeah, it's all for giving him the time to do it, but the quality of the ball was absolutely phenomenal, undefendable. And then once that goal goes in, you know, we're not going to throw it away. Like,
I mean, that was quite late, and that was like 39, 40 minutes, wasn't it?
Because to be fair, we scored so early, and we absolutely battered them, but Palace was still in the game because it was still 1-0, and you could see really them kind of just kept the same shape and thought, right, let's just. They were almost trying, you know, that all seemed like, well, weather the storm of the first 10 minutes. That first 10 minutes went on for 40 minutes almost. It never changed. But I think in their minds, they were probably thinking, let's just get through to half time 1-0. But thankfully for us, obviously, we're grabbing that 2 goals. So.
Yeah, lots of people would have missed both of those goals, second and third, because it was 42nd or thereabouts, I think, was score was second, and the people started making their way into the concourse.
It was after the second half mark, and
we missed the third.
Oh, definitely, because he must walk past.
Yeah, he walked past me.
Right. After the second one, and they went downstairs, and I thought,
yeah. So the third is what 44, 45 thereabouts.
Yeah,
just before half time. So, and obviously it's a goal that we've already discussed there. Longstaff finds himself in that position once again, and do you know what it is? I think it was only a couple of weeks ago we said when Longstaff gets in these positions, you know, he just smashes at it.
Yeah,
it was quite different at the weekend.
He took a second. He just took a. So where the keeper wasn't. I know I'm putting this.
I'm sure that because he hadn't scored, had he, for such a long period of time. And I could be wrong here, but I think, did he not speak to Shearer? Or did Shearer? I don't know.
Shearer told him to put his foot through it.
I put your foot through.
When you get in those positions, don't think
that,
just put your foot through it.
And like, you know, when you get a couple of goals like you did in the semi-finals, right, in the same area, right?
Yeah.
By scoring them goals, you know, over time, the next time you're in that position, you're ultimately more calmer. You just are, because you know you've done it before, kind of thing, you know. But I just wanted to reference like the different ways you can score a goal. We've seen all the pretty stuff down the right hand side, pass, lovely crosses. And that one was just a long ball from Trippier. You know, he's seen something. But the old Newcastle, we would have been so damn deep in our box and just hitting it up to one person. He would have had time to slip and then get back up and just be all right. But because we're so, you know, relentless going forward and high up the field, he slipped and we're just on it. Like Longstaff's on the edge of their box, and he, you know, he takes it.
I think you've got to give credit to Callum Wilson as well.
Definitely, yeah.
Because the basically the shithousery that he does there, because he was doing it all game.
He's a nuisance.
Yeah,
he's an absolute nuisance. I'd hate him if he didn't play for us.
So he just backs into the defender, really, and the defender gets himself all flustered, gets a ball, slips, and Longstaff just there running and just picks up. Thank you very much. I mean,
it was that Gay, wasn't it? Mark Gay, that plays for England.
Yeah, it was just a lucky one. He just slipped, but again, you got to capitalize on them moments, you know. And it was just so much credit goes to Longstaff for being up there and pressing. You know, amazing.
So 3-0 at half time, and we're absolutely flying, and you think when you're that far ahead, you're thinking, like you said, Bestie, at the start, that this could be another 8.
It felt like it. Honestly, I was like talking to the lad then, I was saying like this feels, because I think it helps that the 2 goals were scored after like 37 and 45, whatever minutes were late in the half. If it had been 3 after 10 minutes and then nothing for 35 minutes afterwards, you kind of like, oh, well, we'll probably won this thing. But you're still wrapped up in all the kind of excitement of it. And it did feel as if it could really
damage them.
Really do them some damage. They changed how they played in the second half. They tightened up a little bit. We didn't seem to have quite as much of the ball. In my head, but then we'll finish with 60%.
Well, they got a couple of decent chances in the second half. I'm not sure if it's the first half or the start of the second, where it might be Gay against once again, where he gets a chance and he just absolutely skies it.
Yeah,
over the ball.
Over. That header in the first half at 1-0 as well, just went wide the post.
Yeah,
the corner.
Yeah, you're right. Then they get a chance where Nick Pope, it's a comfortable save. He just drops down to his post and he gets that one.
He does well, but it should be hit better than the one.
Then obviously the free kick. That's going in. That free kick.
That's a fantastic save.
It's a great free kick, and even better save by Nick Pope. Somebody that didn't really have much to do apart from those couple of incidences.
And even one of those we scored from.
Yeah,
the one that Pope saved was when he gave a ball to Trippier. Murphy makes the run, and then.
And I think that's really a really good sign of a good goalkeeper, in that fact that you're not busy, but when you're called upon, you do your job. You know, sometimes. You know, I'll not reference the person, but there's another goalkeeper that I remember used to make 100 saves a game, and he's the best goalkeeper in the world. Aye, but he's hot as hell. He's busy all day. But if you're just standing there and then you're called upon, you know, like their second half, I didn't think they did anything. And then you get a free kick like that and he top in and he saves it. It's absolutely amazing, like, you know.
He done one of his moments where the crowd hold their breath as well. Bestie, where he runs out and heads the ball.
I thought he did all right. He got underneath it a little bit.
So he does well on that one, but did you not see him run for the second one as well? So after he heads that one, he sees the ball because it's like it lobs up in the sky, doesn't it?
He gets underneath.
So he starts running for it again. If it's going to come back down, then he comes out and then he takes a couple of steps and he must think, nah, runs back towards goal. But he did well. I know it's not really comfortable for him to be in those sort of positions as a goalkeeper, especially after that Liverpool incident, which we'll not really dive into. But fourth goal, he did dive into that. He did, Bestie. Fourth goal. When I was talking to Harry gave a lot of credit to Murphy, and rightly so, because that's a fantastic ball by Murphy. The ball beforehand is just as good
from Trippier.
So Trippier just glides that past him into his stride. Murphy he's not even looking at the ball. He's just running towards the wing, and Trippier knows exactly where to put that.
Yeah, the weight as well, like that.
Pinpoint.
But Trippier's demanding it from Pope straight away as well. As soon as Pope stands up after he's made the save, Murphy's way in front of him. Trippier saying, like, mine. Gets it, couple of touches, and it's eye. But the ball by Murphy, again, it reminded us. I don't think it was as good as Willock's against Spurs for Isaac's goal, but
it's a different
the weight of it, and
the art of the outside of the foot.
Yeah,
is so much harder than the inside. Still not taking anything away from the pass. It was amazing.
But Wilson, I mean, for it was a great ball. Wilson, one touch and is in about the net.
Yeah,
one touch and he gets his body, opens his body up.
Adjusted, doesn't he?
He seemed to have more time than I expected him to have. I don't know. I don't know if that's the quality of him, I guess. But like when the ball came in and he went to do that touch, I thought, oh, the keeper might be on him here. But he seemed to quite quickly get it the way he wanted to go finish. You know, it was.
I think that was the thing, that the quality of the touch and just him being the player he is. He's got an unbelievable scoring record as well. Like, so I remember a few weeks ago it was 17 and 19 he scored.
Has he matched Les Ferdinand now?
No, he's ahead. He's ahead. He's matched. I think it's Beasley and Shola.
Right. Okay.
No, he's level with Shola and Andy Cole, I think.
And he's got Shola 40 years to do it.
There's only Beasley and Shearer ahead of him.
My mate Andy,
and I think he'll probably catch Beasley this season. Yeah,
he's probably not fast anymore.
Well, you know, if you're in that company, though, goodness me, you know, Andy Cole's and your Beasley's like, if you're in that company, then happy days, you're doing something right.
Yeah,
you know
absolutely. I mean? And he's up.
Because he, just to be fair, it wasn't. He was scoring goals when we were shit. Like, you know, he was the one that was thought, I've got Wilson on, you know.
Without him and St. Maximin, we'd have been dead and buried long before we were. Like, well, we weren't. No, but we would have been in big trouble. Like,
yeah. What I want to highlight, just to wrap this up on this game as well, is that the ability that we have now to make those 4 substitutes when we did. And it's 4 good substitutes that come on.
Yeah.
It's something which we've never had before. Yes, you may have the opportunity to bring 1 later on in the game. But for 4, I think that the decisions made where, if I remember right, there's 2 coming on, then we score. Then you see that 2 lads come out as well, because Eddie Howe thinks at that point, game's done. Like, it was done at half time. Like, but
we've got Wednesday night to think of, and
exactly.
Kind of, give some of the lads a bit of a rest. And not just that, but it gives like Livermento, Tonali, it might have been his farewell appearance. We'll see what happens in the next couple of days. But it gives Livermento a bit of time. Elliot Anderson more minutes on the pitch.
I thought Hall might have come on. I thought if there's ever a time to bring Hall on to give him some minutes, it would have been that game. But to reference what you've said there, Chris, I think, I mean, it was unbelievable to see them 4 on the side, and you think, goodness me, like, you know, the strength, the squad strength is there. Like, you know, obviously, of course, a couple of injuries here and there, you'd be in trouble. But it was amazing to see them all coming on. I thought, Jesus, we're 3 out of 4 at the time, and we're bringing on this lot. You know what I mean? It was incredible. It really was, because so many times we've turned to a bench back in the years gone by, and you're like, there's no one there.
Yeah,
there's no one there to change the game. And then you see them coming on, you think, Christ, you know.
Well, Isaac, I mean, he didn't have that much time, but some of his little touches you could see the quality was there as well. Miggy had that chance as well where he got put through.
Yeah, he did.
Probably should do better, but you kind of at 4-0 up
on his left as well. You're thinking, he's going to score. Yeah.
I thought the defender did very well to keep up with them. Actually, so I thought once Miggy got away, that's it, and he just did enough maybe to put him off. I also want to reference Bruno, because I think I've been quite critical of Bruno. Not critical is a strong word, but like,
expecting more from him.
Just not the same. You know what I mean? I thought he was excellent on Saturday.
I think he has been for the last few games now.
He has, to be fair.
I think he's going under the radar, and he's having great games, but because everybody else is having fantastic games as well.
Yeah, I suppose Longstaff, you know, you come away from that game, you go, Murphy was amazing, Longstaff were amazing. But I really thought Bruno was amazing. Like,
I thought it was a great game for Joe to come back into as well, because didn't really test his fitness more than what it needed to
Yeah.
do as well.
He dealt with it. He played pretty well, like, but yeah.
Because we didn't really go down the left-hand side that much.
No.
But there was moments where you did, and you seen his sheer power. You know, he was breaking forward, made some great little touches. And then in the second half, Murphy almost seemed to go towards the left a little bit and was doing flicks and all sorts. It was unbelievable.
Yeah, when Miggy came on for Gordon, didn't he? Then he went to the right and Murphy came on the left side.
He was doing all flicks and all sorts. It was just everyone's so full of confidence.
He's just another one that's loving his football, isn't he?
100%.
He's like, he must be thinking, I'm in dreamland. Yeah, never in my wildest imagination would I think I'm going to have this sort of running a team for Newcastle United after what you said earlier, Bestie. That
when he signed for us as a newly promoted club, and then he's been on loan to, did he go to West? No, Gale went to West Brom. Sheffield Wednesday went to, didn't he, for a spell?
Yeah.
And he must have thought, like, oh, well, I've had me, you know, his brother's playing the Cardiff and all that, I'd probably move on, like, but he's playing for a team, the top scorers in the Premier League, best goal difference in the Premier League, 6th in the table now to the Villa game on Sunday, but like unbeaten in 8 or 9, playing in the Champions League. You probably get more minutes this week. Something I want to say, something else, and Murphy's part of this. So the 8-0 against Sheffield United, the 4-1 against PSG, 4-0 at the weekend. That's 3 games in which we scored 4+, different scorers of every single. So each set has had a different goal score for every goal. So like no one scored twice yesterday, no one did against. It's class. Like we've got goals everywhere at the minute, and we've still got, like, even with that in mind, we've still got Wilson and Isaac on like 7 and 8 or 6 and 7, whatever.
That's what I was going to say. The luxury that Eddie Howe's got, that the goals are coming from everywhere on the field, but then you've got that battle between the 2 lads up top as well.
Yeah,
Isaac and Wilson. Like, when was the last time we had that?
Barnes CC, maybe. Then we try to crowbar them both at the same team.
At the same time,
yeah. Good memories, them though.
Yeah,
good memories.
I did love Barnes CC.
I did. I was just referencing, you were saying, like, obviously the team might be forgotten about. I do think. I mean, I don't think we'll forget them, but there'll be people out there it's their era of team. Do you know, like we talk, like people talk about Solano, Robert. You know what I mean?
Scott
like,
Sellers,
I talk about Solly a lot. You know, things like that, where we didn't win anything then either.
Yeah,
but it was our era. So there'll be kids now grow up and go, I remember Jacob Murphy, man. You know what I mean? Like, I know it sounds daft to say it in a way, but
I hope. I mean, it's a streets won't forget, as people say.
Them youngins,
them
youngins
with a ministry sound.
Do you know what does need to happen though?
Black and white seats.
Black and white seats, yes, as well. But
100%.
Guess what else needs to change?
Black and white nets.
Julian needs his hair blonde again.
I just look the same.
Because that was confusing the hell out of me.
Yeah, they're not the same at all.
Why is Wilson there?
I was why is the cells that 4-4?
Like, it was tough, wasn't it? It was similar when Bruno, Joelinton, and Gordon all had bleached hair at one point.
Yeah.
And like from a distance, you're thinking, who's playing where? But yeah, finally on this game as well, it was great to see the atmosphere based on Tonali's arrival as well. When he first warmed up, obviously warmed down towards the Milburn stand. Obviously the fans on the feet chanting the Tonali song as well. When he came on, great stand ovation from everybody in the ground as well. And that touch at the end, Bestie, when he's just walking them extra couple of yards in front of everybody, and everybody held back a little bit.
You can see, because he starts off, he goes, and it's Jason Tyndall and Graham Carr with him. Carr gives him one on the shoulder and all that, and kind of sends him on his way. And he pauses in front of the Gallowgate. And in my memory, it was for like a minute or two. In reality, I've seen it since. It was like 5 seconds. But it was I suppose NUFC Fans TV put it on with Lee Lawler, who says, it was a quote, something was like an emotional. I thought it didn't look that emotional, maybe. But
I didn't think so either. No. I don't think.
But it looks. I don't think he ever looks emotional. I think he's quite quite a reserved character. Like, but it was good. And I think if it is his last game at St James's, and if for that to be the case, we'll need to hear something in the next 48 hours. We've got a game in a couple of days' time. Like, it's a good way to go out. Obviously, it's not a good thing that he's done allegedly. And he'll get his
Milan Sino's coming there, like, didn't they? Jeez.
He'll get his punishment and whatnot. But I think that's the kind of thing that would stay with him. You remember that, like, you know, when you're kind of a bit of a low point, maybe you say that's hypothetically gets a year ban, and he's sitting in like January and he's like kicking his heels, like, oh, it's shite this. And he's like, but when I get back, I've got that. You know, it was weird.
When he didn't with us with his betting slip, he was thinking, that time I won the Gallowgate.
It was weird. I saw a few Palace fans on Twitter after the game, and you can't read too much into it. But they're saying that all the Newcastle fans have got no scruples, have got no morals, they're cheering for that. I was like, what's that cheering what he's done?
Yeah,
it's, you know, letting the man know he's one of ours, like, for support me. It's a.
I don't know. I haven't really said because I've been here to reference it, but I was thinking the Saturday it was amazing, right? And it's exactly the response that as a fan I want to see, right? And it's the way it should be, right? I do think though, and I will be honest here, that if we weren't as good as we are, right, and we were, the Bruce days, and were scraping relegation, and he got done for that, I'm not so sure the applause would be as nice.
Yeah, right. I think you're right.
That's my opinion on that.
Point. I've thought of that, but yeah.
That doesn't mean that what we did is wrong by any stretch of the imagination. It's amazing, and that's the way it should be, right? I just think I'm not happy with Milan. That's what I'll say.
We've been so good without him as well.
I'm
not saying that we're not missing
luxury,
but like when you've got Longstaff playing as well, you've got Joe Linton coming back, Bruno starting to play really well. Willock will be back before too long.
I think no matter which way we look at it, there's already been a 7-month ban handed out. Was it 7 months the other lad got?
A year, I think.
Was it a year?
Like Juventus.
Yeah.
Because there's
was it a year?
Tonali and Zaniolo, Villa, everyone seems to have forgotten about.
Yeah.
There's no talk about him, but
maybe out grassing someone. I think all grassing Tonali, wasn't
it?
He's going to be out for the rest of the season, isn't he? In a couple of weeks' time. He's gone for the rest of the season.
I would be surprised if that wasn't the case. Apparently, he can be up to 4 years, which would be...
Right. I think it'd be very harsh. I think he's probably going to miss the rest of the season and probably right the way through the summer, and we'll probably see him at the start of next season. Probably miss the start of
25, 26.
Like a new sign.
He will be like a new sign, which is really going to make us... We're going to have to do something in January, yeah.
I don't know.
Ruben Neves.
Well, there's a question. Okay.
Yeah.
So the question I'll lead into it, if I can find it. Bear with 2 seconds. So it is about the midfield positions in centre midfield. Obviously, with Tonali looking like he's going to get banned, Callum Lewis sends in with the rumor of Kelvin Phillips coming to Newcastle. Oh, hang on. With the rumor of Kevin Phillips coming to Newcastle. Would you have Phillips at Newcastle? I think he means Calvin Phillips.
Score some goals, like.
Maybe
he's a bit out these days, like. But Calvin Phillips.
He's free as well because South Shields got rid of South Shields in the summer. Calvin Phillips is a funny one because I don't know how good he is these days. I wasn't mad impressed with him when the Man City played at St James's in the Cup the other week, but then it was a strange game anyway, that one, team wise. I like Calvin Phillips. I think has been a very good player, but I don't know after so long out.
I absolutely agree. I think and I've had this thought randomly driving the car. I was thinking, like, it's Eddie Howe, right? And I think if we're seeing the performances he's getting out of Joe Linton, he has done what he's doing. Jay Murphy, listen, as Longstaff and all that. Give him a run, like if he gets him under his, what's the word you've got? A better word?
Tutelage.
That's the word I was looking for. Exactly. I think you could do it. I think you might see the Calvin Phillips that was seen it. Actually, Calvin Phillips than was seen at Leeds.
He was excellent at Leeds, yeah.
In and out. Sorry, buddy. Take out. We'll be fixed in a second.
Is that any better?
Mint.
Yeah.
So sorry. You probably heard us anyway, even though I wasn't on. That under Eddie Howe, I think you can look at any player and say, is he this good? Is he that good? But if Howe gets a hold of him and he adapts the philosophy that we have as a culture, as a group, the training, all the rest of it, he could be absolutely amazing. Like, and I would definitely take a shot on him. Like,
but then we'll have to remember Willock's close to being back as well. I think he's training with the rest of the lads now, just about. I still think it's a while away for Willock.
I think Howe said he needs to get up to speed. I'm just trying to think. It's basically the same team as last season, isn't it? When Tonali gets his marching orders.
Yeah.
It's effectively the same squad as last season, except with because Barnes is knackered.
You'd probably argue Anderson's get more game time this season.
Yeah, but he's still
in the round. Last year.
You look at the
it is identical, actually. Yeah.
It's pretty much the same. Look at the whole. I'm going with the whole team. It's the same team basically.
Yeah,
just better.
They're better, and I suppose if you look at the bench, meaning likes of Dino and
there was
he's maybe got better depth, but in terms of actually affecting the 11, the same team.
And obviously Gordon performing a hell of a lot better now than what he was.
Gordon
previously.
He's. I thought how many times did we say on here? Like, let's see what happens after the summer. Gets the preseason in with how gets his fitness up because he said he wasn't totally fit. He stopped training for everything, hadn't he? Basically, he's getting chased down the street. He's probably knackered all the time. But he's been unbelievable at the start of the season. He just looks so dangerous.
If the season stops now, he's play out the season.
The best left winger I've seen here for.
I
think.
Yes,
yeah,
he is. Yeah.
I think he's been absolutely fantastic this year.
I'd say him before the injury, maybe he's Botman.
I
think he's been excellent this season as well. I'm looking for it's any again. I don't want it to sound like I'm saying that we don't miss Botman because he's a wonderful centre half, but Lascelles has done really well.
I think Trippier is so important.
He's
so good, man. Like
So
we always seem he's another one that I think does get a little bit like he's just expected to be like he is unbelievable.
Well, do you know what,
I hadn't
Becky?
realised how good he was.
He's
I hadn't
fucking
realised.
Like people say, oh, like he's a 7 out of 10 player, like about a player that performs every single game.
Paul done with that.
Like, but Trips is like a 9 every single week.
Well, I'm sure I've seen a stat. Here we go. That was I think he's received the most.
Is this your official stat?
It's not official, but I definitely read it somewhere. I haven't kind of read it like. But he's got the most player of the match awards. I think maybe not physically like. It's kind of something daft. I want to say this. I think it's not like you are man of the match on Sky type of jobby, but like the statistics that are done in terms of your score.
Yeah,
right,
he has consistently been the highest average ranked player.
I think that who scored or something. I think that's like the standard.
He's literally like 8.8 or 9 every single game, and to me, actually, he seems to be getting better and better because there was a slight run not so long ago where we did question his corners a bit. We did, right? Well, corners aren't great, whereas certainly over the last 5, 6, 7, maybe even 10 games or so, I feel personally he is involved in almost every single move that we do.
Tried a couple of different corners this weekend as well. There's one over towards the Leasers. We got a chance in. It was a short corner. We tried the same thing afterwards, and it ended up back to the keeper, I think. But we're trying different things from set pieces now, which is great to see. Really
I do want to read this stat out. And this is from
official stat.
It is an official stat, and this was from my mate. I've lost it. Oh no, this
is what you get.
Minnesota Mag, of course it was you. So I'll read out the first part. So it says in 32 league matches going back to October the 1st, 2022, Newcastle have scored 4 or more goals on 9 occasions. Over the same period, Man City and Arsenal have each scored 4 goals in 7 games. Now, this is obviously updated though, right? So now the same stat, the same length of time, we've scored more than 4 goals in the game 11 times since the 1st of October. So in a year, it's 11 times we've scored more than 4 goals. That is, in contrast, Arsenal and Man City are second with 8. I mean, that's unreal.
We're doing well, like.
That is unbelievable, man.
Like giving teams absolute hidings
regularly.
Like, I mean, I know that I was this season. We Villa first game this season. PSG yesterday was Sheffield United 8 as well.
I like how you forgot that one.
I forgot the 8-0
and 8 separate scores. But I know some people think XG is a crap stat, and a lot of people are not getting that. I'm not one of them people, and I think it's a really important one. And I think we're first for that. I think it's like 19.8 or something. Like
it's a sign of XG. It's not a be all and end all, but it's a sign if you've got a high XG, you're getting the ball in dangerous positions.
Exactly, you got more chance of scoring a goal, exactly, and that's the name of the game. Yeah. So, like, if you're the best at that, eventually the goals will come. And to see Newcastle with the best goal scorer in the league, best goal difference, having the most XG, Christ, man, we used to be lucky if we came forward once in a game.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean? And we're just absolutely smashing teams out of the park. It's
we're taking scalps, man, left, right, and centre.
I'm a little bit nervous that I'm confident about Wednesday night.
Oh, we're hammering them.
I'm not, because
hammering them.
They've had a good run recently, Dortmund.
Well, bring them.
Dortmund.
Yeah, Dortmund have had a good run. Is it 5 wins?
Something. I'll check it out again.
Well, Bessie, they're coming in our turf. They're coming to St James's Park, and like we said earlier, bring anybody on at St James's.
Anyone.
Oh,
see you in the final, Bestie.
No, I mean, I feel confident, and it's Brucey at Dortmund. You know what I mean? It's Dortmund without Jude Bellingham, but again, as we say, they've won. I think they're unbeaten in 8, 9 games this season, similar to us actually.
But we can flip that around, and if we just look at Champions League, Dortmund sat at bottom of the group,
unbeaten. Oh no, they got beat 4-0 off PSG, didn't they?
2-0 off PSG, I think it was.
The drew 2-0.
Drew with AC, and I think they got beat 2-0 off PSG.
Draw specialist AC.
Yeah.
Aye. No, I mean,
look who sat top.
We're the best, man. We're the best.
Home away against Dortmund in the next 2 games, then it's PSG. Then but halfway a point after this week, and we could be on 7 points from out of 9.
No, we will be.
We'll win over there as well.
We're not going to lose, man. No, listen. Of course, away from home is going to be very difficult. But honestly, man, that was the best dress rehearsal. The best dress rehearsal you can get that Saturday for coming for Wednesday. Honestly, man.
Yeah. As I said earlier, the opportunity that he took towards the end to just rest, lads. I just didn't get a great deal of football out of the well. So Liverpool came on, man. Trippier got a bit of rest and all that.
He just deserves some as well.
And Miggy came on.
Miggy came on as well. Yeah. We've got it's great.
We're the best.
I can't believe this.
Who would have thought, right? And now we say this quite a bit, right? Who would have thought them times when we were sat in the Ashley, right? Under Ashley,
Yeah.
pissing and moaning about defeats that just a few years later would be sat in our very own studio talking about Newcastle. Sat at top of the Champions League group.
Am I
A group of death as well, not just a.
Are you dead?
Did I die like 3 years ago or something? It's all because this isn't meant to happen.
Nah,
it's not meant to be as good.
And we used to try and find positives back then.
We did. We used to struggle.
You know, hey, Hayden was good today, you know.
Yeah.
Lay down a bit more. You know,
honestly, we used to struggle to find anything
we did
positive.
try, yeah.
Like it does feel a bit like Shutter Island, doesn't it? It's like this is all an act and all part of it.
I think
Truman Show.
That is why I wanted to reference at the start about like the football that we are being presented with at the minute. It's the best. It's never been better. And I'm going to even hoy Keegan at that. And that, you know, listen, my real dad. You know how much I love Keegan, right? Like that was the amazing football. But I was watching. I had Sky on all day the day, like, and they had a 4-3 on Liverpool.
Yeah,
right? Amazing. I know we lost, but you know. We're good. The football we're playing now is like just on a different level. And of course it will be because the game moves on. I get all that, right? And that's what I mean by we've all had amazing memories in the past of games and we'll always love these players forever. But the football we are seeing at the minute, the PSG game, that Sheffield United, the Tottenham one that hammered them, and this one on Saturday, certainly that first half, it's as good as it's ever been, man. Ever. And we really need to, I think, well, the atmosphere wasn't great on Saturday, right?
Nah, it was flat, like,
and that's not on, like, that's not on, like.
Points where it was really, really good.
Those
There
bursts.
was a few times where it was excellent, but then like 80-odd minutes in, the stadium's not half empty, but Lowe's level 7 have gone.
Right? People are not saying
because we're used to winning now. People are pissing off early.
It's mad, like it's so.
It was going to happen.
It is. I mean,
I'm not saying when you are prawn sandwich territory. I'm not saying
well,
that, but you know what I mean.
To mention this, and I don't want to turn this on a negative, but I'm going to briefly mention this. The two areas which the club have introduced. So you've got rooftops on the left-hand side, which is above Lee's west corner. Is it what it cast is? Whatever that corner is.
Lee's in Melbourne. The
one where the Ben Arthur Hope sign was down. If you remember that. Then you've got wings, which is being introduced, which is in the Lee's behind the goal.
Right in the middle, isn't it?
Yeah, right in the middle. Loads of empty seats in wings.
Was it?
Loads.
The whole game, or you mean towards the end?
No. Throughout the game. Like.
Well,
I didn't pick
it might be the cost, maybe.
Well, this is what me and Harry were talking about, is that, yes, those games will sell for top games, like for likes of hospitality tickets or whatever the class is, just better seats than what we sit in regards to comfy, and that's it. But the likes of when Crystal Palace comes to time, they're going to probably struggle to sell them for the price that they're asking. And there was a fair few. And I'm not just talking about single seats. You could see like a group of seats like empty blocks.
It's a difficult one, isn't it? Because I think I agree with the sentiment, by the way. You're absolutely right. It is just difficult, like when everything goes on sale and you charge X and then loads of people buy the price at X. You then can't like go, well, actually a week before it's half price, because how pissed off would you be? It's very difficult. Yeah. I think the answer is over time is
categories, but the rest of the categories, isn't
I agree. So like when at the Platinum Club, for example, you used to pay sometimes 68, 72 for Arsenal Man United. You would pay maybe 48 or 50 if it was Palace. No disrespect.
Then Liverpool came around and you were the away fan.
I was the away fan, yes. Got done in. No, wasn't good, that one.
Yeah.
It was, yeah.
Horrible. That was a game where it was, the dive, wasn't it? The dive.
Just surrounded by Liverpool.
I think the last kick of the game was like late on, wasn't it?
I had to get a bus back as well because Melrose Rough, I was spitting.
I can't imagine.
All the way back from the bus station, the police station on in Newcastle, all the way back to the bus.
I do want to reference something about seatage when you talk about seats.
Just seatage.
Just totally random this, but I went to see an NBA game when I was in Atlanta, and we were very high seats. You're talking like a level 7 job, right? And every seat had proper leather padded, spot on seats, and it was only $17 a ticket for all the way up there. Yeah, but we've got like plastic, right?
Indoor venue though, isn't it?
Correct.
There's no point putting seats everywhere out and outdoor in St James's.
Maybe
the cushion bit would degrade over quite quickly as well.
Well, it was the ones that are in the sort of where Amanda sits.
Yeah.
Every seat was like that, which was very nice.
I'll tell you what. My comment on seating is not necessarily
seating, black and white.
More than there is that. But I was talking to the lads about this on Saturday. I was getting pins and needles because I'm safe standing. I was kind of leaning on the rail in front of us. I would like that to be a little bit higher, 6 inches. just because I'm
I think you
kind
might
of
fall over it or something.
no.
Or is it just too low?
Slightly uncomfortable. I'm putting too much weight on me, so I'm getting pins and needles in my palms. So if that could be arranged, and also in the winter, there's
just your section.
just my
You
my chair.
shelf on top of yours.
Just that. Just
Bring one and just weld it a bit.
If the club get in touch, I've got the details. Oh, also, the hollow metal, aren't they? In the winter, they're going to be freezing. Just get hot water going through them. Ooh.
Like a radiator.
Yeah, just not like mad hot.
Like a lukewarm radiator.
Yeah, just something like, oh, that's pleasant.
Yeah, if you've had your heating on and it's turned off about an hour ago and you can still feel that temperature on the radiator.
It's like, oh, it's nice. Like, a cat would sleep on it. That kind of temperature.
You might be on something, yeah.
I'll tell you what is that. The hollow that they conduct the heat well.
They're both that thick as well.
Aye. I mean, ignore the fact that they're not all joined properly, so we'll just piss out the side.
Connected to any water.
Well, I mean, I'm not a plumber, but I'm sure it could be arranged. My dad Amanda, if you're watching,
don't get these ideas.
I've got
anywhere else. People are talking about expanding St. James Park. We just want a heated towel.
Just a little bit. Oh, in the winter, maybe you take a coat off or something like that. Your scarf. You put your scarf on there during the game. And,
would you ever buy one of those like jackets where they've got like a warmer built into them? I know, like
I am the coldest man in the world. Like, I am cold all the time, so I would like one, but I would never do it though.
I'm the opposite. I'm the warmest man in the world. So there's no point. I just sweat.
All the lads like that, because when they come on for the NFL and that, man, I'm always one with a blanket or something. Like, what you do? They're like sweating, and I'm like, nah, it's freezing, man.
Yeah, it wasn't that long ago. You and Mark was sat in that corner with that little electric heater, and it was absolutely roasting me.
That was
wet.
Roasting.
Yeah, I won't even hear it.
I got home, back of my leg was like corned beef.
Mottled.
Right, let's have a look. Next question is from Liam Knowles. That says, does Murphy stay in for the Dortmund game? He also mentions Botman. I think we already know that. It looks like Botman's going to be missing
a few
this
more
one.
weeks. I think it's
early mid-November. Rightfully, and he deserves to stay in that team at this moment in time.
That's right.
Murphy, though.
So it's a funny one, right?
2 assists and a goal.
I totally agree. And I've always said this throughout, even picking people internationally, right? I've always said you play who was on form. I've always said that, right? And if you've got someone that's been amazing for you literally 48 hours ago, get him in the lineup, right? Because his confidence is high, all the rest of it. And this is going to be really interesting because I think how was referenced before, he's always been asked these questions like, have these changes been made with this game in mind? And he always goes, I never look that far ahead.
He does.
Of course he does, right? But I know he says he doesn't.
It's lip service.
And so I think he's paid Murphy thinking, Almiron, sit tight, mate. You'll be playing on Wednesday. And I just wonder if he's in the house now. If you're watching Eddie, hi. He's sitting in the house thinking, I've got a bit of a... Me and Tinders have got something on my hands here. Like, they're having a kebab tonight thinking, Wednesday's going to be mint. Do we stay with the plan of Miggy starting, or because Murphy was like Pele on Saturday, do we play him? I would play Murphy.
I'm with you.
Because I'm going back to what I've just said at the very start.
I like Miggy. I think Miggy's been playing well, but Murphy, I'm with you, Decker. He's got that momentum. 100%. And you kind of, if he's playing well, you've got to start him. And just imagine, Murphy's, it sounds weird. Imagine Murphy running at fullback. Running at fullback for 55, 60, 65 minutes, and he's absolutely pagged. He's knackered. We've been pressing high up the pitch. And then he sees Miggy warm up. He's going to be thinking, oh, no.
Because you've always got that option to bring on.
Yeah.
And if you play Murphy and it doesn't work, okay. And again, you can bring him on who, Miggy's just going to go 10 out at you. So, I just think it's you strike while the iron's hot, like, and play Murphy.
With how well Murphy may Trippier and Longstaff did together, I mentioned earlier. Yeah. Why not?
Just repeat that, lads.
I'd probably have the same 11.
I would.
To be honest with you.
Yeah.
Only real, I'm thinking that change you could make Isaac for Wilson.
Is that Wilson's the one, isn't it?
I don't think Wilson will play because he doesn't even train for 2 days after a game, let alone play after. So I would expect Wilson to definitely be out. But to reference what Bessie said, yes, I agree. I would play the same team.
Just to follow up, our very own Ian Dayton says a question for us. He was absolutely buzzing off their tits for Wednesday.
Oh, well, me and him will be gone. I can't wait.
So Decker's got your ticket today.
Buzzing, Joe, just honest to God, anything you want in life, anything. Romantically, sexually, anything. Just
you owe Joe, like. Joe's always the one that's like, he's shit hot at getting these tickets, isn't he?
But today, man, I was at work. I was in this meeting and I was sitting there and I forgot it was resale, right? Because I was so in this, in this meeting. And then it flashed up and it said, So I come out the first line and said, and then the second message said, check your emails. And when you have that feeling, and I was like, on my phone, I was like, and then I've like, look, like Gio there, and then I've got it in my wallet now. Occasionally, I've just sitting on the shit that the day, and I just like pressed on my wallet and went,
I just look at mine sometimes. Like,
I just look at it. I was walking to the car, champions. I was just singing to
So what happens when you flush the toilet?
champions.
But I tell you who's not buzzing. Poor Mark. People may have realised Mark's not here.
It's matter how that's the first time we've mentioned.
Mark,
Sorry, Mark.
Sorry,
Mark's not here tonight.
It's not a miss, like.
And yeah, as you people that are watching, you can see straight away. Mark's a little bit under the weather. Possible COVID, which ruled Bestie out the PSG game. And Mark had a couple of digs.
Were you that bad? Were you that bad?
I was not with it.
So could you have went, or you didn't go because you were being nice?
Bit of both.
Bit of both.
I was making a cup of tea, so I felt really. It was a Burnley game. My nose was streaming, sneezing like my streaming, and I've got really bad. I get allergies. Right. I'm allergic to like animal dander and dust and stuff. So I've got antihistamines to hand all the time. Some of them nasal sprays and stuff like that. Decongestant just in case. Nothing worked. Took a bit of his football thing. Went to the Burnley game. Came home that night and I just felt the same. Didn't feel poorly, but nose was running like mad. Watched match of the day that night. Had a couple of beers, literally 2. Went to put the bottles in the bin in the kitchen. I was like aching, like I felt like I've been for a run. I thought I'm in trouble here. Like, and then went to bed. You know when you're starting to feel bad, you're sensitive to cold and all that. Like, I woke up on the Sunday morning feeling more tired than I did when I went to bed. So the Ben was at a birthday party. He went with Amy, my wife. I put her in the bed for his nap. I went to bed at 1 for like half an hour. 3:30, she woke us up. I was just out for 3.5 hours. And I was bad for like. Anyway, that's how it started. I was just sickly. That was COVID. Wednesday, I hadn't made my mind up yet. The day of the game, I'm like, do I or do I not? So I was working as best I could. Just at home, and I went to make myself a cup of tea, and I stood. Amy was home because she was working from she was off sick because she had it as well. And I'm talking to her, and I'm like dizzy. I thought I didn't feel terrible, but I would have had to walk from home to the metro station, probably stand on the metro because busyness. Get to the ground early because the ticket things aren't working very well.
Not let you sit in them elderly seats. Do not let you sit in them elderly seats.
Oh, he's big, that, and he can sit down.
Might be pregnant.
So getting the ground ready because the ticket thing's not bad. I've got safe standing, so I've been standing all game.
Oh, and then near warm barn out.
Near warm barn out. It's very low as well. It's very low. Metro, like probably have a pint afterwards. Metro home and walk.
Well,
back.
You could know you didn't have to have a pint afterwards if you were.
I know. I love how you had to go to the bar.
Well, the only reason I'll either have a pint afterwards while I'm waiting for the metros to die down, or walk to Jesmond. Which is if I don't have a pint afterwards, I walk to Jesmond to get metro.
So on a scale of 1 to 10. After the game, how good were you? Didn't go. Or you just happy you had one anyway?
I was over the moon. I watched the game with a few bottles of beer and a big meatball pizza from Mazda. Wow. I was like,
I get it.
It was like, it was. I'd rather have been there, but it wasn't even at the start. I was like, oh god, I should be there. But then I was like, I will remember that for the rest of my life, regardless.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Like the 5-0 against Man U, I wasn't there. I watched it in the pub. I was the Ashley as it goes because of Bain and my dad was at the game. Me and our Taylor, I watched it in the pub. And this one, the PSG game, I'll remember forever. Like where I was sat, what beer I was drinking, everything about it was just it's indelibly. So I would rather have been there, but it was like it was magic without it. Like so, Mark, even though you're gonna miss Wednesday by looks things because you're full of fucking COVID. It's all right.
He'd like each other really.
He texted like 5 to 8, wasn't it? It was about 5 to 8. Sorry, lads. I didn't know he wasn't coming.
It was literally. I was there for some fuel. And I checked my phone as I get in the car. And I saw that.
Bestie sat there, and I went, "You didn't say, oh yeah." And he went, "Well, Mark's not coming." I was like, "Oh, is he not?"
Get well soon, Mark.
Get well soon, Mark. If you do have it, don't call me because I don't want it. You sit right next to us.
But Mark, I know I've WhatsApp you. I don't think you've got backwards, but if your ticket is available, I'll have it. Well, my mate will, Paul, because he dropped me program off the day and it was like reliving the whole thing. So
this is what I want to highlight to people. A lot of people scrambling to get programs for PSG.
Oh, the resale on Saturday.
So I said to Matty, I would get one if I could find them.
Yeah.
I walked past 3, sold out. Then obviously you said that the day after the queues to get a PSG program were ridiculous.
Well, I'm assuming that was what the queue was for because you never see queues out of the norm. Normally just walk up and buy them off from the vendors. But I walked up. Why did I go that way? I walked up past the I forget what I walked up now. But either way,
There's an old age going in.
it is, it is. Because I was going to the club shop because I got told that the stadium stuff was in there by Mark, actually. That's why I'm glad he's got COVID. Liar. And I was walking past, I thought, because I want to get a program, because I like to get a program for the game, especially when the ground early, because it means I can have a quick flick through before kick off and stuff. And I didn't go, I went past the usual ones that looked normal, and there was one that looked like a different, like a pinky, reddy, orangey sign.
Yeah, okay.
And the queue was from down there, that was next to the ordinary ones, to the bottom of the steps, Strawberry Corner, and that one down past the Strawberry. It must have been 24 people in this queue waiting for it, and I was like,
so get there early, get your program for the Dortmund.
Yeah, just buy one as well. Like, just get one. Don't buy them to sell on.
I got two, but one was to give to Scott.
Well, that's, fair
that's
play
all
if it's fair policy,
yeah.
but don't buy them to sell on, because that's just, I hate
I'm
that.
sure I've seen something on Twitter where it was like boxes. This bloke had boxes and boxes of them.
Yeah, he was getting all the time, rightly so for me.
How was he got boxes? Just pinched them, like?
No, he bought them.
He just bought them.
Oh, he bought boxes and
bought them.
Oh, right.
For the intention of making money off them.
Oh, that's not bloody hell.
We don't like that. Dean Wales is just putting the best comment of the night. He said, Mark will have to adapt.
You really
I love it.
Adapt.
Honestly, I love it when people come up with the one-liners that people have said. Like,
And you know, that's an old one as well, isn't it?
It is an old one. That was when Maxi was out the team, and it was
Ryan Fraser.
Yeah.
Adapt. Ryan Fraser was the man to do it under Steve Bruce. But yeah,
what was he? A week on it when he was upset with someone firing in. Oh, it was Harvey Barnes.
Oh,
When Barnes went off
everybody
again,
forgot about Harvey Barnes.
Aye.
Go on, lad.
Because of the foot injury on it.
Like, yeah, he should run it off.
He'd run it off, he'd be fine.
He's not got to play it like February or something.
I know.
Just it's only his toe.
It's only a nose, Mark.
But yeah,
get well soon, Mark.
Yeah, get well soon.
Yeah, all the best.
Get well soon. Right, we're gonna end it up on 2 here. And the both. Well, sorry, we've got 3. 2 of them are for you. One's for me. So we'll start with yours first. Digger.
Oh, me?
Yes.
You meaning us too?
It is Baz that says, did Decker get to fulfill his ambition of going to a diner?
Oh, yes, I did. Yes, I went.
Did you go to a proper diner?
Yes. Well, I went to the diner in Philadelphia, which I think I told you about, which was best Philly steak in the world. Like, yeah, we went to a couple actually. Yeah, we did. There was no guns. Like, there's no guns involved in like that. Like,
you didn't see a gun?
No,
Not a single gun.
No, well, in that Philly bar there would have been. I'm telling you now, it was a rough old place in there. Like, but no, it was but yeah, it was. Oh, I can't say that. No, I can't say that. No, I can't say that. No. What someone called me. Someone called me something. I'm not going to say.
He's not saying
it. But yeah, twice I got called this as well. But I did though. Yes, thank you. I did. And we stopped off at some lovely little places and met some really nice people. Like, yeah.
I tell you where I've always wanted to go. The OK Diner next on the way to Yarm.
I always want to go.
I went down with Dane. Drove us there because I always said I wanted to go. And I drove all the way there.
Is it worth it?
Come all the way back.
Is it worth it?
Well, it was all right. It was a long way to go. Like,
was it like inside, like a diner?
Aye. Honestly, it's like what you would expect.
To go on like a team like
fancy
trip.
Like,
I'll go.
I'll go. Okay,
100%. Yeah.
Like how far? Like how long it'll take?
Half hour. 45 minutes.
About
maybe.
45.
I used to go past it. I used to work at Kurt Levington Prison down in Yarm. Briefly, I was kind of subbing down there, and we used to drive past every day. And I was like, "Oh, you want to go in?"
I do want to. So I know he's referencing. Someone would have probably watched the show. If you've ever seen the film Creed, the first one, where he takes his girlfriend for his first date, I think it's the first date. I think it is, and they go to this little diner, leather red seats, and they sit and have I think they have a Philly steak. He might not because he's lush, but it was the greatest. Well, the food was. It was absolutely unbelievable.
I've never had a Philly cheesesteak.
Never tasted anything like it. Mind you, I was dry as a boot. I mean, I was dry for about 4 days, man. Me and Emma were just like, we need more pop.
Just full of salt.
But yeah, it was really lovely.
I think on the back of that, I think we might have to have a team trip to the OK Diner.
A bit of that, like
Yeah, definitely.
We'll get a minibus if anybody wants to join one. We'll get a minibus. We'll all go. We'll rent it. We'll do a live podcast from there.
Go for some bait and come home.
Yeah, I'll go anywhere for beer.
So yeah, we're going to do a live podcast from the OK Diner. Where's it, Yarm?
On the way down to Yarm. It's not quite as far as that.
Yeah, it's quite far, like, you know.
I'm the same as you though, Bessie. It is one of those places. Every time I go past it, I go, I wish I was going in there.
Yeah. But it's like they've been close enough to home. It's like, well, there's no point.
Did you ever go to the one in Shields? The diner which was in Shields?
What was that
one called?
It didn't look like that OK Diner. I'm not going to lie, but the interior was lush. It was. So you got King Street, the main one, the one behind it, where the toilets are.
Oh, it was Johnny Blackett. My friend owned it.
Queen Street.
Aye.
Is that Queen Street? That
It
one?
might be.
I'm not sure it was Queen or Princess Street. It's one of them.
And it was like Happy Days. It was like all this.
Yeah, it
this-
didn't last very long,
It was
like.
me, very good friend. It was his. I didn't last long,
Yeah.
unfortunately. But he had like his mom and his dad and that, like Davey, and that used to help.
Yeah.
Cook the food and that to keep the cost down and stuff.
Mhm.
But it was just tough. It's not in the best areas to be spotted.
Nah,
is it? You know
it's
what I
not.
mean? So-
But I love American Diner.
but that's what that is like then. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
like that.
I think it would be Queen Street, where the British Legion Club is, and
Yes.
Aye,
Yeah,
just that-
yeah,
just that
aye,
one,
aye.
Just around the corner from there.
We went to Buffalo Wild Wings twice, I think, and the first time we went was like, you know, when it's exactly what you expect when you walk in.
Mm.
I know it's a famous name, so it's not exactly like one of them diners, but you go in, there's like just sport on and every single TV, and there's got them type of seats and stuff. There's just wings everywhere, and yeah, it's great. I miss it loads.
Your final question was a quick summary of the PSG game, because nobody's heard you speak about it because you're away.
Oh, I mean, absolutely blew them away. I still kind of believe Lascelles' performance, how good Lascelles was in that game. It was, well, it's a funny one, isn't it? Because it's probably the one of the greatest games ever, probably
in the
for
club's
us.
history. For
in the
me,
club's
like,
history. Yeah, so
might
it
be
is.
the greatest.
Get that DVD out.
It was absolutely amazing, and this is why, and I'll say what I said before. I want to reference that everyone was happy when Mbappe was injured, and I'm sure I sat here and said, no, play him. Let's beat them with him on. Now, of course, it's easy said than done, of course, but to beat them with him on and keep him as quiet as we did for that full game, it's one of the greatest nights we'll ever have. And that goal from Shea being the last goal as well, I think was, you know, that's such a beautiful goal. And to be the last goal of the game as well, I thought was just special. It's
I found myself at points on Saturday just staring at that part of the pitch where he hit it from.
Aye.
Like, imagine it. Like, aye.
Again, though, he picked it up so deep, didn't he? Carried on his own plays, you know what I mean? And it was just
He wins the challenge, doesn't
wonderful.
he?
He wins the ball.
Yeah.
Another Jacob Murphy assist as well.
Just wonderful.
Yeah.
Really, really wonderful. Yeah, one of the best games of our entire history. So it was canny.
There was a question from John that says, Chris, where's your hoodie from? This is actually a Matland special, you know?
Oh, I thought it was a private one, but so
Nah,
I thought it came because the same shade as your cap. I thought it was just part of a
like how you
got
buy
like
kids' clothes.
yeah.
Like you get a cap and jump.
Yeah, you've got like
shorts.
you got like dinosaur fins down the side of the pants or something.
It says Daddy's big boy on the back. Anything else that you want to add?
No. Did you buy your kids' clothes with Daddy's big boy?
Yeah. Yeah.
Good God, where from? Where you getting them from? I wasn't just got
Age kid.
mine's just got like cars on and stuff.
Oh, they've always got crappy slogans on them, like maybe not Daddy's big boy, like, but
Mine's got like
Daddy's. I don't know.
I'll have like be cool, be kind, be
No,
brave
they'll
or
have like
something
Mammy's
that.
boy and stuff on them.
Nah, mine have that.
Why either do?
Not my kids.
Like your kids might not, but you can definitely get them. Like.
Most of my kids' clothes say like Fun 88 or
And the peeling off.
Aye.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I'd wash my.
One of my tops in there. I was like, damn, put any of my tops in the wash. Come out, literally choose off. I was like, like, just don't do that because just wash it like that. And then she turns around and goes,
You wash it, aye.
Fair enough, like.
it is, man. Well, I do.
Just when you're not watching.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's us done for this evening.
Quick prediction for.
I think we'll win. I don't think it'll be the scoreline of PSG, but I think we'll get 2.
I think 3.
Do you actually?
No, but it was just sounding good.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, I need to be very careful because I'm sure there was. If I go back to some of the previews I did before, I was saying, "Oh, we'll beat these 5-0." I think we lost.
Mm.
So I'm not going to say that this time, but I think we'll have enough to beat them. Yes.
All right. I think you've been filming that, Mike. It's gone again, but it's fine. We're done. We're done. Anybody? Yeah. Thanks everybody that's joined us live tonight. We will be back with a match reaction. If you do want to digest more Newcastle content, we have just released 3 shows today. We have the Newcastle United versus Dortmund match preview, which is done by Scott, Daniel, and Daryl. We also have 2 Champions League Fantasy League previews, which have gone out as well today. Like I said, we'll be doing the match reaction and plenty more stuff coming.
I think there is one thing I do want to end it on. I just remember because I was just checking my lineup.
As a
So,
start.
no. So I'm playing Bestie in NFL fantasy football. this
Okay.
week, yeah. What's the name of your team? Besties Ball Bags.
Bestie's ball bag.
Bestie's ball bags.
Ball bags with W.
All right.
So there's only one game tonight playing. It's the Vikings against the 49ers. He's beaten us 73, plays 71. I'm scheduled to win 88 to 80. I can't see that, like, but
I think I've only got a defense left to play.
been a tight game, though, isn't it?
Is it a Niners? I think I've got Niners defense.
You've got the Niners defense,
I
yeah.
think that's it.
I've got the Niners kicker and Matt.
We're on an NFL podcast, though.
Yes. Would you like to have an NFL podcast? You're not getting one, but would you like one?
Like, you choose two would be the only two that could do it. You just don't have the time.
There's no one else in. Well,
Andy Burnham's the only one that like his NFL, I think. Yeah.
Oh, I do want to reference the Falcons game just for a second. You can obviously have beer
again, we're not an NFL podcast.
Sorry, but you can have beer obviously in the stadium. And I honestly, in your seat, man, you've got a cup holder in front of you. I mean, I was right at the end zone, right? And I got pulled pork sandwich, chips, chili sauce on, Blue Moon, any can you wanted, but Blue Moon. And it was amazing for me. It was definitely MI.
500 quid.
So he went to go and get drinks in, right? And I think it was Emma. And he went, "Oh, can I have two Blue Moon?" Right? And the bloke went, "Do you want 4?" He went, "Do you want 4?" And he went, "No, just 2, mate." He went, "Well, give us a tip and I'll give you 4. Okay. So he just gave him like $5 and give him 4 cans. So then obviously as soon as we sat back down, whip straight back, text the group, which guy is it? Him on your right. And he just give him a tip and he'd give you extra cans out of his bin.
Jackpot.
So there you go. You don't get that in St. James's.
What else I've got to mention as well? There is a live Canny Chatter on Thursday night as well, being recorded in this very studio as well. So Scott's over for the Dortmund game. He will be sat in this seat right here, hosting
on Thursday.
Canny Chatter live. So tune into that as well. See you all later. See you next time.
Has he been here before?
In the studio?
Aye.
Yeah.
Oh, he has.
Yeah, he has. He's been here. Actually, become a subscriber as well. Costs you nothing to do that. Become a member. $2.99 a month. Like the video. Give a 5-star review on the audio. That's us done. All the housekeeping done. See you later. Ta-ra.
Don't put batteries in the bin.
I think we've discussed this.
I think we've done before.
Yeah. All rabbits. Don't put
rabbits
rabbits in
Don't
it.
put rabbits. Don't put
bin.
batteries in your rabbits unless it's.
Best he put was Duracell, buddy, didn't he? See you later. Ta-ra.